Welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we're on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Sankara FM Yendi, Castle FM Cape Coast, Laura FM Laura, and Radio Max Takrade. Get radio, TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, Africa Center for Energy Policy reignites calls for privatization of ECG to enable effective regulation of the power distributor following challenges with the debt collection.
Allow ECG to be controlled by the private sector so that government can regulate it. Because government is a regulator through PURC. So if you have the private sector participating in that space, then government is able to regulate it.
Meanwhile, former board chair of GRA, Professor Ade, is kicking against the introduction of VAT on electricity bills.
We should be going after the billions of uncollected property taxes rather than going after the ordinary producer and consumer when it comes to electricity.
Also, retired police officer at the center of the alleged plot to oust IGP Dampare COP Alex Mensah says the leaked committee draft report is aimed at destroying his political career.
Somebody just want to disturb Commissioner George Alex Mensah retired for what he is trying to do. Somebody want to spoil my political career.
We have details as chairman of the committee, Samuel Atachia, hints of launching an investigation to reveal who leaked the report in business.
New World Bank report forecasts Ghana's economy to grow at 2.8% by end of year. We have details on the Joy Business Report.
And much later, Chef Filer reveals the support from the people of Tamale. Ghanaians encouraged her to cook for more days in an attempt to break the record for the longest cooking marathon.
I was expected to do 5 days in the cooking marathon. I wish I could do more, even if it meant dying, looking at how happy everyone was.
These are more coming up with me, Mami Sinyamiche Thompson. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Let's start now from the Africa Center for Energy Policy, and it's reigniting the debate for privatization of the electricity company of Ghana to enable government to regulate the power distributor effectively. The calls come on the heels of concerns of massive power cuts in the coming days, as many power plants have been shut down due to the closure of the West African gas pipeline in Takrade. The Executive Director of ASA, Ben Boachi, said many consumers are not paying for the power they're consuming because ECG is state-controlled.
We are not collecting enough revenue. The last time I checked, the under-recoveries are above 70% now. So what it means is that when power has been generated and sold, 70% of the money cannot be gotten back. So government has to raise money from the budget to be able to offset that difference. And it's escalating by the day. We have to go back to the roadmap that we set up in 2014, which we all agreed that we need to, allow ECG to be controlled by the private sector so that government can regulate it. Because government is a regulator through PURC. So if you have the private sector participating in that space, then government is able to regulate it.
Meanwhile, economist and former board chair of GRA, Professor Stephen Ade, is kicking against the newly introduced VAT on electricity, insisting it will worsen the plight of consumers and make businesses uncompetitive. He spoke on that front on the Joy News channel.
It will definitely increase the price of electricity, and there's no doubt at all people will be worse off. You first focus on things that increases production, and then that in turn will feed into your tax system. We should be going after the billions of uncollected property taxes and people getting away, creating things, being exempted, not even the more important ones. These are where the mines have millions of exemptions. And these are the ones we should go rather than going after the ordinary producer and consumer when it comes to electricity.
You had former board chair of GRA, Professor Stephen Ade. Now, the retired police officer at the center of the alleged plot to oust the Inspector General of Police, COP Alex Mensah, says he suspects whoever leaked the draft committee report has an intention to destroy his political career. The supposed draft report recommended that COP Alex Mensah retired and the other officers captured on the leak tape be prosecuted for conspiring to allegedly remove Dr. George Akuffo Dampare from office Reacting to the development on Newsnight, COP Alex Mensah said he suspects a conspiracy against his political career.
Somebody just want to disturb Commissioner George Alex Mensah retired for what he is trying to do. Somebody wants to spoil my political career. Somebody who has the intention to destroy me wants to come and destroy me at this particular time where we are going for our families. But God being so good, it's not going to work.
Meanwhile, chairman of the committee, Samuel Atacha, insists the report was false, saying he would launch an investigation into the matter.
Some people have been trained to put together a report for the consideration of the committee. Those people are the class. So if somebody should improvise anything and put it in the public domain, that is his problem.
Would you recommend an investigation into this particular
I believe so. We should do that, because this is like trying to force a false report on the committee.
Away from that, protesting university lecturers have vowed to boycott negotiations with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission if government fails to soften its stance on market premium. Leadership of University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, and the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, yesterday staged a walkout from a meeting with the Fair Wages over aspects of their conditions of service. The union says government has shown lack of commitment and bad faith to see to their demands on market premium and other allowances. Dr. Zakaria Abubakar is General Secretary of TUTAG.
Not yet. I think originally we were scheduled to have a meeting today and tomorrow. We are still around until tomorrow, and if we hear from them and if it is positive, perhaps we can arrange a meeting with them again. But until then, we are holding on.
So what really would you want to hear exactly before you go back to the negotiation table or with your employers?
Just as I indicated, you cannot continue to refer us to a certain white paper issued by government on market premium, for instance.
And you heard General Secretary of TUTAG, Dr. Zakaria Abubakar, in an interview with my colleague Emefa Apao. And flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, is joining calls to cap the number of Supreme Court judges. Currently, there are 15 appointed by President Akufo-Addo. Many believe too many appointments could reduce the trust in the judiciary and want the number capped. But the former president says such a decision would be carried out if he is voted into power. He was speaking at the 75th Annual New Year's School organized by the University of Ghana.
The constitution had not been amended. It was my decision that we will not go above 15, because if that was the general opinion of Ghanaians and we were going to amend the constitution in future to cap it, then we'll just keep it at 15. Unfortunately, a president will come who will go above that, and so I agree with you that we must cap it. Wait and let some other president to come and also make some appointments. Then after that, we'll all agree and we'll cap it. And then...
Now, the Ghana Law School is demanding government stays away from its internally generated funds, as it is taking a toll on the infrastructural development of the school. Director Berimaya Kodia Opong is in 2023 alone, the school paid more than 12 million Ghana cedis to government, representing 25% of the school's funds. He spoke at the induction ceremony for 994 students who passed the law school entrance exams into the 2023-2024 professional career course of the school.
The Ghana School of Law is the only institution of education that pays part of its IGF to the government. In fact, last year alone, we paid in excess of 12 million Ghana cedis to the government of Ghana. Until recently, the government was taking in excess of 30% of our IGF. And so, Honorable, if you are surprised that since 1982, when you left the school, these buildings that accommodated you and your friends have virtually seen very little or significant expansion.
Now, Chef Failatu Abdul Razak, who cooked for 227 hours in an attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the longest cooking marathon, says the support from the people of Tamale and Ghanaians encouraged her to cook for more days. She initially planned to cook for 5 days, but extended it to 10 days. She spoke hours after ending her record attempt.
I was expected to do 5 days in the cooking marathon, but the motivation, the encouragement, the love, and every support that came from Ghanaians and my own town was so overwhelming that I wish I could go more than a month to put the image of Ghana to light. I wish I could do more, even if it meant dying, looking at how happy everyone was.
And that's Chef Phyla. Congratulations to her. And that's all for the bulletin. In our top story, Africa's Center for Energy Policy reignites calls for privatization of ECG to enable effective regulation of the power distributor. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.